Hey you guys, I'm loving this AZ Recorder app so I can go ahead and do a little bit more of my videos here. So I want to talk about these types of asteroids that are coming from the moon that are orbiting near Earth and just orbiting in space and flying all over the place. So basically, I got this article 2 days ago, sorry. Okay, so 2 days ago, this asteroid orbits near Earth. And they're saying it might have come from the moon, and they're saying it's following Earth. So when I found this article, it became so interesting to me because I was like, wow, this is exactly what I saw and exactly what I have been talking about. Like with the reptilians on the moon. I don't know if you guys saw my recent video where I showed you guys that they harvest the moon rock. What they do is they take these big chunks of moon rock out of the moon. They use a laser gun to carve it out, and then what they do is they shoot it, and they shoot the moon rock, or as I'm seeing, they throw this big piece of moon chunk. They'll just throw it in orbit into space. So looking at this article that I'm seeing, a near-Earth asteroid the size of a Ferris wheel may be a piece of the moon, astronomers say, and they're naming it Camo Alawea. Now the interesting thing is it also has a Hawaiian name like Oumuamua, because Oumuamua also is a piece of the moon as well. I strongly believe it's a piece of the moon as well, because the thing about it is these reptilians, what they're doing is they're doing a lot of damage to the moon, but a lot of people don't know that that's going on. That a lot of these craters that are already on the moon, those are craters that have been created by reptilians. And when you've seen, there was also a video that came out, or something came out, that they said there were some cracks on the moon. They've noticed cracks in it and things like that. So this is really interesting. So it says, the Camo Alawea, it alludes to an offspring that travels on its own. So we have to think about this now. There's a way that these pieces of moon are breaking off. But we have to think about it. How are these pieces of moon breaking off? And that's exactly where I realized, that's exactly what I saw, what I had seen. The reptilians were on the moon, working on the moon. I'm just showing a picture of Earth right now just because I'm going to show that later and talk about that in a minute. But they are taking these pieces of moon. They're shooting it with a gun, carving them out, and then what they're doing is they're taking that moon and they are shooting it, and these asteroids are hurling towards Earth. So now they have several asteroids that are hurling towards Earth. Oh, wow, here I go. I just had a red car parked behind me. Oh, right on my ass. Yep. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's talk about what happens when the moon disappeared. Now, we're just going to focus on this article. We're just going to focus on the fact that there's chunks of the moon that are missing, and there are many chunks of the moon that have been broken off over decades. So let's talk about what happens when pieces of the moon are broken and what we're facing right now. So basically, with what's going on, we're vulnerable to more asteroids. And if you have noticed, over the past couple years, we have been getting much more asteroids. So more and more that these reptilians are defacing and breaking the moon, they're making us more susceptible to asteroids, and they're also throwing these asteroids towards us as well. So, they're the ones who are mainly hurling these asteroids. I think that they think it's funny that they just like to just shoot them towards Earth and just, something like that. So number 2, the tides would completely stop. It says that with the gravitational pull of the moon missing, tides as we know them would be over. There would still be waves, since the sun also slightly affects the moon or the ocean, but the churning currents as we know them would diminish. That would have a devastating effects on swaths of sea life, which rely on particular paths of nutrients for survival, and ultimately led to the mass extinction of species. Now, if you notice, we're already kind of sort of seeing that. You can already kind of see that with these red tide outbreaks and these certain algae outbreaks and things and stuff that are going on in Florida and stuff like that, because it seems that stuff like the flesh-eating disease and all these things that were growing in the water by Florida probably is most likely because this tide is being affected by what the reptilians are doing. Now, the moon is not fully disappeared, but there's pieces of it that are disappeared, so we are still going to suffer the symptoms of all of this, of the pretty much of the symptoms of the moon having been gone, because the reptilians are breaking so many pieces off that it's having a devastating effect, and it's slowly starting to accumulate. So number 3, Earth would have a nervous breakdown. So that would set off a number of very, very bad things like earthquakes or volcanoes and stuff like that, right? So we've already basically have kind of seen that. We saw that recent eruption in Hawaii. We've seen, basically, we're starting to see a culmination of all of these disasters. That's what we're beginning to see. And we're seeing earthquakes in different areas. We saw some in Japan and some in different areas. When we randomly see these big earthquakes, these big volcanoes and big floods, that's most likely the direct effect of these reptilians having taken a large chunk or several chunks off the moon either that day or within a few days. And that is affecting the gravitational pull of the Earth, which is causing all these crazy shit and disasters and stuff to happen in Earth. And the thing about the reptilians, I don't know if they know subconsciously that, or know, even have they probably do know that what they're doing, that breaking the pieces off the moon, are going to cause all of these issues, and they know what they're doing. And the thing that this kind of woke me up to the fact yesterday that there probably may not be a CERN. The truth is that our weather is being affected by what these reptilians are doing on the moon. It may not even be CERN. Because let's look at this right now. So it says the climate will go haywire. So without a moon, the Earth's axis would dangerously shift. So basically, all these things would happen, including a wild change in seasons and climate, potentially rendering huge portions, if not all the planet, uninhabitable for parts of the year. Now, we've already pretty much have kind of seen that. We've already seen recently there was that big snowstorm in Denver that last winter where their cars were just so deep in snow. So these instant random events that happen where there's an instant flood, or these instant just all that snow dumping and those cars being trapped in Denver and fucking 4 feet of snow or whatever, that is all, I believe, the direct effect of the reptilians took a chunk of moon out that night and boom. Yep. So basically we have a climate that's going haywire. Right now, we're going through this weird heating thing here in the Rockies. There's not even a bit of snow up on the 14ers, up on the peaks over here where I'm at, which it's crazy. I've never seen it. This is crazy, but I think this is all the direct effects, but it's slowly accumulating. It's not like the moon has fully been disappeared, but this is what's going on. Now, it's saying also, number 5, the last thing, the days would be shorter. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but if you've noticed the past about 2 years, our days have been shorter. Do you notice how each year time is going by faster and faster and faster? Because it said that's because the gravitational pull responsible for controlling the ocean tides also causes what is known as tidal friction, which drags down the speed of the Earth's rotation and is the reason our days have been growing longer over time. With the bulge of the tides gone, we'd be spinning ever so slightly faster, meaning days would be shorter and our current calendars and clocks would wind up out of sync. So what's going on here is that right now, the days, if you guys have noticed, time is going by way, way faster because right now, the Earth's rotation is going faster and faster because of what these reptilians are doing on the moon. But the thing is, a lot of people don't know that these reptilians are doing all this damage to the moon, which is in turn causing all of this. So, what do I think is going to happen in the next few years or so? I really don't know. I don't know. I know that the more that these reptilians keep on damaging the moon, taking these big chunks out of the moon, that they're eventually going to cause a lot of destruction. And eventually one of these asteroids that they're throwing from the moon eventually is going to hit Earth. And I believe that many of them already have. I believe that fireballs. So all these fires that have started in California and all these fires that kind of start randomly, sometimes those are fireballs. If you look back at prehistoric times, a lot of times they had like back when the dinosaurs were just here, like if you watch like The Land Before Time, remember they had that fireball come down and they had like this whole big forest fire started because this asteroid came down and was on fire. So these moon rocks that they throw, when they throw them down in the earth and they're going with the gravity, like it's coming down on earth and that shit's starting fires. So there is a possibility that like we could just someday just start getting hit by tons of like asteroid fireballs because of what the reptilians are doing. So I just wanted to go ahead and make this video and just share what I think and what I've seen. I was on the moon and I saw these reptilians carving these big chunks of rock out of the moon. I came there. I couldn't even believe it. There was just a big crater left. There was smoke coming out of the crater. And all I could think to myself was, oh my God, what the fuck did this reptilian do to the moon? And the next thing I saw him take the big chunk of rock and he shot it with the gun. And then all these asteroids just started like flying. So, yeah. So I just wanted to kind of share about that and share that, yeah, this is all just, you know, accumulating, and the damage that these reptilians are doing on the moon is accumulating and accumulating, and it is affecting Earth. And they are, I believe, purposefully hurling these asteroids towards Earth. I think that sometimes they get on the moon and they just want to just throw whatever asteroid they can, because the truth is that they want to kill humans. We're food to them. That's all we are, is we're just food. So that's all it is, you know. So I just want to go ahead and share this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know definitely what you guys think, because I would love to know your opinion. Thank you so much.